Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a video about all the times I have been wrong. So sometimes I am wrong and we're all learning, and I think it's fine to be incorrect as long as you learn from it and you don't continue spreading misinformation. So if you watch some of my very old videos, you might hear some things that make you go, huh, I'm pretty sure she said the opposite thing in a recent video. And it's because there are certain skincare misconceptions that I believed. Skincare is very nuanced as a whole. There's the skin physiology aspect, there's the cosmetic chemistry aspect, there's the marketing side. Definitely not something you can learn overnight, and my knowledge of skincare is constantly evolving and my opinions are constantly changing, and I think that's fine. But I did want to make this video because I think it's important to show that I have been wrong before and I will continue to be wrong about certain things, but it's important that I address it so that we can all learn from this. So the first thing that I've been wrong about is that washed off ingredients in cleansers are completely useless. This isn't something that I 100% believed in, like black and white. There are levels to this. As with most skincare topics, there are levels to this. So take a salicylic acid face cleanser, for example. So a lot of dermatologists and estheticians actually recommend that you use salicylic acid face cleansers if you are acne prone or struggling with blackheads or something. And the reason why is because it's way more gentle than a leave-on salicylic acid treatment. And that's the thing I think all of this stems from, is this kind of notion that we believe in the skincare community for the most part that more intense equals better, when that's really not the case. With a lot of ingredients, more intense equals redness, peeling, irritation, breakouts, purging, all sorts of nasty things. I've always hated on really expensive cleansers because I always thought that it was just really dumb to include, you know, certain ingredients like antioxidants or hyaluronic acid or that kind of thing in a product that you literally have on your face for maybe 60 seconds. So while I do still think that certain ingredients, like say antioxidants in your face cleanser, is not going to be as effective as having antioxidants in like a night cream, I do think that with ingredients like those, like antioxidants or hydrating ingredients, it is probably best to have an overnight treatment as opposed to a wash-off product. But with the case of exfoliating acids like AHAs and BHAs, it is actually a very smart decision to incorporate a cleanser that has those exfoliating acids in it if you have really sensitive skin. Some people simply cannot tolerate leave-on acids, and so a face cleanser that has these acids in it is a great alternative. Okay, so the next thing that I've definitely been wrong about, and I think a lot of people kind of believe this, is that certain ingredients just automatically make a product completely bad. So for example, fragrance in skincare is super bad, alcohol in skincare is super bad, sodium hydroxide in skincare is super bad. So I've definitely said these things before, and I actually have a very popular video that goes into like 5 ingredients you should never put on your face or something, and I want to apologize. That video was just me being kind of ignorant and not really understanding how cosmetic chemistry as a whole works. There is so much nuance in cosmetic chemistry. So pure sodium hydroxide on your skin is obviously super bad. Sodium hydroxide is crazy alkaline, it's extremely irritating, it just is not good for your skin, period. Pure sodium hydroxide on your skin versus sodium hydroxide included in a thoughtful, well-rounded, well-formulated skincare formulation, those two things are vastly different. You can read about certain ingredients and their effect on the skin, but you have to keep in mind that the vast majority of these studies don't necessarily account for how these ingredients are specifically used in cosmetic chemistry in a skincare formulation. A very basic example of this is just the percentage at which these ingredients are present in a scientific study, let's say, versus a actual skincare formulation. So take the example of sodium hydroxide. In a study, it may be at a way higher percentage, but in a skincare formulation, you need the sodium hydroxide in order to stabilize the pH and adjust it to be correct. Formulation matters so much, and that actually brings me to my next point. The next thing that I was wrong about, and I think a lot of people are wrong about, is believing that ingredients don't lie. Ingredients do lie. They don't tell the whole story. Ingredients can tell you a fair amount about what a product will do for your skin in terms of just the active ingredients that are in there, but to judge an entire product based on just the ingredients alone without ever having touched the product or tried the product and denouncing it and saying that no one ever should buy it, I think that's a little wrong. So the example I specifically wanted to discuss is fragrance. So here's the truth, is that fragrance is actually an extremely diverse group of molecules. When you see the word fragrance in the ingredients list, it can mean literally any number of things. There are some naturally derived fragrances, there are some synthetically created fragrances, some of which are specifically created synthetically to not be irritating. But again, like I said, all these different molecules have the same name in the ingredients list. That being said, the fragrance debate is a little bit stupid in my opinion, because when you say fragrance is bad or fragrance is good, there's literally, it just doesn't make sense because fragrance can mean so many different things. And the other thing I wanted to address is that of course dermatologists are going to say stay away from fragrance. That's literally their job. Dermatologists exclusively deal with people who have very sensitive, very reactive, very compromised skin with issues like eczema or psoriasis. So in that case, it does make absolute perfect sense to avoid fragrance because fragrance for people with those skin conditions can be super irritating. But the average person does not have a compromised skin barrier. The average person does not suffer from eczema, psoriasis, or any of those other skin issues. And so for the vast majority of people, fragrance in their skincare is perfectly fine. If it irritates you, then don't use it. If it doesn't irritate you, then continue to use it. It's not a big deal. But yeah, I just wanted to make it very clear that there are so many different layers to this fragrance debate, and it's not cut and dry, it's not black or white. It's just so nuanced and people just don't take that into account. The next thing I was wrong about, and I feel bad about this one, but anyway. I have been saying for the longest time that eye creams are useless. Truthfully, I'm just not an eye cream person. Like, I think it's just a preference that I have. I just prefer using my moisturizers underneath my eyes. It's worked really well for me for the past like 5 years. It's just what I prefer doing. But there's a specific reason why that works really well for me, and it's because I prefer my moisturizers to not contain any exfoliating actives in it, such as retinol, alpha hydroxy acids, beta hydroxy acids, anything like that. I prefer my moisturizers to simply hydrate and moisturize. So for example, if you use a moisturizer that has glycolic acid in it, I would definitely say don't put that under your eyes because the under eye area in general is just very delicate, and the thing is that eye creams are specifically formulated for that very delicate area. Eye creams are specifically formulated to not include ingredients that could potentially irritate the under eye area. No, eye creams are not totally useless. Do I think that they're overpriced? Yes, absolutely. But no, they're not completely useless. They do have thoughtful formulations behind them. And for me to say, yeah, eye creams are totally useless is just a little bit reductive. So yeah, those are just a couple of things that I've been wrong about in the past. And I just wanna say, like, we all make mistakes and we all believe misinformation from time to time because we are literally flooded with misconceptions about skincare all the time. And it's very difficult to make an educated decision when you have so many different vantage points talking at you constantly. And also the other thing is that science is absolutely not 100% objective, so just throwing that out there. Even if you read a study, there are so many other things you have to take into consideration, such as the sample size, the methods, and even just reading the entire study as opposed to just reading the abstract. There's a lot that goes into it. I am very sorry about the lighting, by the way. It's partially cloudy and the sun keeps coming in and out of the clouds, but I had to get this video up today, so sorry. So I want to know in the comments, simply because I don't want to feel alone. If you have believed any of these misconceptions, please do let me know. So with all that being said, thank you all so much for watching and spending this time with me. Have a beautiful week and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.